As of 1 p.m. today, the Kingdom of Erusia has declared war on the Osean Federation. As soon as the news broke out, enemy aircraft began bombing Osean territory, causing widespread destruction. The Air Defense Force has released a statement saying this violent attack was carried out by drones. They speculate the drones were secretly transported to Osea in shipping containers and launched remotely. The Secretary of the Navy has stated that the enemy was targeting naval ports across the country. According to the Secretary, all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including one still under construction, sustained severe damage in the attacks. We have yet to hear back from the department as to the fate of Osean carriers currently at sea. Hold on, I've just received breaking news. The International Space Elevator, which is being built in southern Usea, has been seized by the Erusian Army. Reports say former President Harling was touring the site at the time, but his current whereabouts are unknown. Our sources in government tell us it was Harling's policies regarding the space elevator that caused economic frictions in the area, and which ultimately led to this war. Located near Erusia, on the continent of Usea, the space elevator has been under construction for some time now. The Executive Office of the Osean Federation has declared a national state of emergency. They have ordered all its armed forces, including Usian peacekeepers, to mobilize and make the necessary preparations to launch an immediate counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is officially at war. Stay tuned for further updates.
Breaking news from ENN. Osea launched an attack on the capital today, striking Farbanti from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II. After a brutal battle, the Erusian Air Force successfully repelled them. During the air raid, the Osean Air Force fired missiles at the city and managed to shoot down a number of Erusian fighters. Some of the disabled planes then crashed into residential areas.
The world was screwed. 20 years ago, the Earth got slammed by an asteroid. Usea was on the wrong side of the planet and got hit. Hard. Refugees swarmed the Erusian Republic, the biggest country on the continent, plunging it into chaos. They were desperate and started a war, one they had no hope of winning. That's the war my dad fought and died in. The biggest nations from 2 continents went head-to-head, and the so-called righteous Oseans struck the deal that ended it. They fancied themselves the only nation that could bring peace and stability to the world. They even tried saving the Usians, still suffering from the disaster. That's how a space elevator, stretching way up into the sky, ended up being built in Usea, paid for by the Oseans. President Harling said he did it out of compassion for his fellow humans. But to the folks in Erusia, it looked like Osea was moving in to take over. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. When they started this new war, they managed to get the drop on everyone. The second the declaration hit the news, Erusian forces took control of the space elevator without spilling a single drop of blood. President Harling was touring the elevator when it happened and disappeared. Then, while that was going on, the Erusian ships that were docked all around Osea released a swarm of drone fighters they had hidden on board in containers. No one thought they were capable of doing what they did that day. With pinpoint accuracy, they managed to take out everything that was military, and not a single civilian was hurt in the process. Osea pissed lots of people off with their huge military presence around the world. Erusia didn't have the same reach, but they could hit their targets faster and cleaner. And when all this was going down, I just so happened to be in my flying drag racer. In case you were wondering, yeah, I survived. I crashed in a bombed-out Osean Air Force base, then got arrested for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. The world went from being at peace to being at war, all in the blink of an eye.
Princess Rosa Cassette Delete of the Kingdom of Erusia. Today, Osean airstrikes have shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to. It is heartbreaking. Tragic.
I was tried, found guilty, and stuffed into a cargo ship. For company, I had some court-martialed soldiers. And remember those mothballed planes I told you about before? They were loaded on the ship, too. We headed off down south for several days, and then swung east. That's how I got here. I was thousands of kilometers from Erusia, on the opposite side of the Yuzian continent. For a port, it was dull as hell. It had 3 rusty patrol boats. And the base? The fences were topped with razor wire, the tower had a searchlight and machine guns, and a truck with a gun turret was parked in front of the gate. Its gun was aimed at the yard. This was a prison. This place looked like a full-on base, but half the tanker trucks were just big balloons, and the runways weren't even paved, just painted on the dirt. The whole place was just one big fat lie. The only reason I was here is because they knew I'd restored a supersonic plane. They wanted me to make something out of the mothballed planes they brought, that they could park on the fake runway. Can you believe that shit? So, I tried to escape. They found out, and set the dogs on me.
Wesh.
Erusia has made a declaration to the Ocean Federation and all countries on the Yuzian continent stationing the IUN peacekeeping force that we are now at war. Right after the declaration was made, surprise attacks began around the continent that have inflicted major damage to our armed forces. Forces aligned with Erusia are currently appearing throughout Yusia. The combination of these forces has overwhelmed the majority of the continent, and they are now encroaching on us in the east. Additionally, the multinational space elevator has been seized by the Erusian military. After the previous war, the space elevator became both a symbol of peace and a valuable asset in the fight against growing energy concerns. Whoever has control of it will have enormous influence over the entire continent. We cannot turn a blind eye to this critical situation. The Fort Gray's Air Base Squadron has been entered into the order of battle to reclaim the elevator as an advance element. First, you will attack all hostiles coming in the east of Schofield Plateau to stop any interference with the Allied ground troops. The enemy has deployed several vehicles equipped with anti-air radar along the roads. You are to destroy them. They should not pose much of a threat. However, there is a high likelihood that the attack will draw more enemy air support. If that happens, fight them off swiftly and establish air superiority.
Alors, j'ai essayé de me passe. Désolé. J'ai cessé de passer pour vous en profiter. Et donc, c'est la merde vraiment partout. Les rouges ont envahi la plupart du continent, apparemment. Parce que j'ai vu. Il faut détruire cible terrestre. Et je viens de voir que ça se passe en 2019. Est-ce que ce serait bien pour regarder pour nous aussi? J'espère. Bon. Bon. J'ai des radars. Ah oui. Ah oui, dans vos dos, c'est l'arbre qu'on a actuellement. Et je vais utiliser les deux. Alors, MRP. C'est confirmé pour test de performance de la mission de match. On va changer pour de nouvelles avions, armes spéciales et plus de rémunération. Pardon, l'arbre avion. Oui. On les reçoit en campagne. chaque mission complétée et un multijoueur pour chaque match fait. J'arrive à le multijoueur. Il y a moyen de gagner beaucoup de sous. Mieux on joue, mieux on va faire. Si on a fait, là, vous avez plus puissant, etc. Le FPS. Voilà, mais gagner plus facilement. Le système sur l'arme, ça va être le bouton icône. Débloquer du compte avant. Certains items ont certaines conditions. On aura une arme spéciale. Le reste va acheter les clés adaptées. Dépenser sagement. Ne pas se débarrasser de vieux d'armes du grind. Et de pas avant le dessus. Quand c'est dépensé, adios. Certains avions et armes spéciales sont faits pour combat air, d'autres pour combat au sol. Et la clé du succès ose sur le choix. Les fighters avec les chasseurs en bleu, multi-rôle en rose et attaqueur assaut en rouge. Alors, les chasseurs. Excellente manœuvrabilité, peut-être R. Excusez-moi. Multi-rôle s'attaque à tout, mais il n'y a pas de. Le truc spécial et Superman et assaut. Et c'est une solide parfaite pour la scène. Type dans le spécial RR, assaut et tout. Voilà. Paramètres. C'est ce qui définit l'avion, la vitesse, manœuvrabilité, stabilité, capacité RR, seul et défense. D'accord. Avion spécial, pièces d'amélioration, qui change, et ça fixe un multijoueur, certaines scènes de multijoueur, une restriction des coûts, et donc on va avoir un avion qui coûte moins cher que les autres. Ok. Parce que je peux débloquer. C'est sensible. Si ça sera débloqué, j'aurai le rang de Herman Post. Très bien. C'est quoi je t'ai dit? C'est 56 missions. Non, je t'ai dit. Je ferai une présentation, vous allez la prochaine vidéo. Pour l'instant, il faut vu que c'est une mission simple, il faut ouais, c'est bon. Alors, je vais vous dire quand même des bombes qui se dirigent vers la cible verrouillée. Faites pour exploser une propulsion plus les défenses de la cible. Elles sont potentiellement dévastatrices. Ouais, vous allez débloquer une nouvelle arme spéciale. Pour fixer ce qu'on veut voir, allons-y. Oh. Sinon, un instant, je vais vérifier les contrôles pour voir comment changer la caméra. Et mémoriser en micro les touches. Ouais, tout de suite. Et de retour, voilà, je suis prêt. 16. Bombe. Les améliorations. C'est parti. Oh. On explique pas. Alors, des améliorations. On peut les acheter avec les MRP dans l'arbre. Ces pièces boostent la capacité de l'avion dans un arme spécial ou leur donnent des attributs spéciaux. Équiper l'avion avec ces pièces. On est 17 avions, je sais. Avant une sortie. Les améliorations boostent différentes activités. Et sont difficiles à les suivantes: body, le corps, structure. Ça booste l'efficacité de la durabilité, tout ça. Armes, c'est le moment. Booste la puissance des canons. Des armes spéciales, des armes standards. Un disque qui booste une version courte de riche en anneaux. Et donc c'est à côté de chaque pièce un certain nombre de slots. C'est vraiment une ligne de slots en catégorie de l'image qu'on va avoir. On va pas placer d'amélioration au-dessus de la limite slot. En plus de la limite slot, les limites sur combien de pièces on peut mettre sur un coup. Et donc c'est jusqu'à 8. Certaines pièces sont du même niveau, mais pas du même niveau. Bah, plus le niveau, plus c'est fort. Ça fait plus de place. On peut pas mettre la pièce le même niveau différent plusieurs fois. Donc, par contre, en numéro 1, on utilise la même pièce. Très bien. Là, j'ai vu les meilleurs sur ce light disc. Je sais pas ce que c'est une pièce. Léger, peut-être light. C'est bon pour l'accélération. Et d'après le graphe sur le vitesse, très bien le tomate. Ça c'est bon, ok, c'est parti. Let's go! Chargez la mer, chargez la mer. Opération Eastern. Vent Ouest. 17 mai 2019 à 10h00. Les temps militaires n'utilisent pas le H ou le pont, mais juste les 4 chiffres de l'heure. Donc 8 heures c'est 0 plus 1.
Current target is on rails. There's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. The HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damage is to be done to public facilities.
But any aircraft shot down could land in civilian territory.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close. Yep.
Oh, c'est bien. D'accord. Allez.
It's popping off now, Trigger. War has officially begun.
S'il vous plaît. Ah, j'ai tout fait. Ça s'appelle Rage à OG dedans. Je tourne, je fais. Wow, ça fait vachement plus.
Target destroyed. 5 to go.
Attack the radar vehicle!
On its way.
We can't wait any longer. We need to intercept their
Ok, la bonne. Au revoir.
Target destroyed. 3 to go. Continue to engage at your discretion. Enemy interceptors inbound.
Ça passe.
Prepare to engage in 30 seconds. Welcome. Here they come. Take them down. Okay, recruits. Pay attention to who's on what side. The newest IFF is connected to our entire force via satellites. It's reliable, so trust your radars.
Si.
2 targets remaining.
Oh la vache, c'est possible. Je dépasse rapidement. C'est bon.
Just affect your field of vision. They also mess with your HUD and radar. The Seekers can sometimes lose their lock-on to their targets, too.
Ouais, tire profond.
Locked. Fox 2. Fox 2.
Ça passe, c'est possible.
Good work, Trigger. The enemy's a lovely pile of scrap. Fox 2.
Je peux se lancer.
Lower 1, an enemy will crash in a residential area.
Worry about staying alive for now. They have a lock on you. Shake 'em. Trigger, there's one more to go. H2, walking. That was the last radar vehicle. Great work. Radar vehicle's destroyed, but the interceptor shows no sign of retreating. Take it out. Continue with the mission. Crush as many as you can.
Enemy transport to taxi.
Oh, il va être un deuxième. Et toi?
In gun range.
Oh.
Fox 2. Mage 2 enemy has a lock on you. Breaking out of lock.
J'essaie de tourner.
Enemy
Mais sérieux?
There's more. Target has been 5 targets remaining.
Si,
Got you now. Firing. So you want us to take down the enemy without damaging any public facilities? That's gonna be a circus. 4 targets remaining. I'm in his blind spot. He's fine.
Oh, c'est pas vrai.
Missed. Column 3, Fox 2. They're losing it after their allies on the ground were taken out. Can't say I blame them.
Target has been destroyed.
The enemy has a lock on you. 3 targets remaining.
Ouais, je... Ouais,
Fox 2! Fox 2! Get away from that vehicle! Now! Fox 2.
C'était quoi ça? Je fais des dommages. C'était bizarre. Vache. Je peux cracher. peu postillonné.
What happened?
D'accord, je suis
Status
là.
report. Multiple bogeys on radar. They're close. Wait, they're being launched. You're clear to engage. They're probably hostile. Judging by the way they look and move, they gotta be drones. Spotted. No doubt about it, we're dealing with UAVs. But that doesn't change a thing. Just think of them as somewhat clever decoys. Take them all down. These drones have great agility. All aircraft. You know what high G turns are, right? Use them. HQ, this is
Oh,
Golem
bah,
1. Bandits confirmed as UAVs. Repeat, bandits are drones. Golem 1, that doesn't matter. Destroy all enemy fighters and get out. It doesn't matter.
Ok, maintenant, on va tirer sur la
Instant, get over it. Yeah, I just wish they'd give us a bit more warning.
Ils sont ralentis, je te passe.
Hell yeah. Golem Squadron, you're not gonna let Mage get all the glory, are ya?
3 enemies to
Don't
go.
try to read their movements. Fine, he's not getting away. Don't ice up in there. Mage 2, locked.
Ah,
You're running out of missiles.
que ton ça arrive.
Golem 2, the enemy's reading you. I'm buying dinner for anyone who takes down an enemy.
There's a bar I want to try.
You're doing good.
Ah, il
Just
commence
2
aussi.
more. Mage 2, what's the enemy on your 6?
C'est exclu.
Getting a warning.
Get out of the clouds, the ice will melt. Golem Squadron, surround him.
Non.
So, drones don't give a cheap force, huh? When to go? Let's get through this without any casualties.
Ça va. Je sais pas.
Nice kill, Trigger. Enemy aircraft confirmed down.
Donc, bon. Si je le
Skies are
rappelle,
clear.
ici.
Nice work, everyone. Mission complete. RTB. No casualties.
Nice.
We couldn't have done any better. Returning to base.
Hey, je vois.
I don't know. Maybe the bandits we took down caused civilian casualties.
Sur les
No
images
point arguing
plateau,
that's how war is these days. You shoot, someone gets killed. The guys in charge take care of the rest.
j'ai une information.
Current target is on rails, but there's still military vehicles and anti-air weaponry. Destroy the target. But HQ has made it clear that no harm should come to civilians and no damages to be done to public facilities.
But, enemy aircraft shot down could land in civilian
Un peu
territory.
long.
No point arguing. That's how war is these days. Do you have visual on the anti-air radar vehicles? They should be close. Yep.
Je trouve. Ça sera...
It's popping off now, Trigger. The war has officially begun.
Oh, je pense que je vais faire. Parfait. Situation.
You've given us air superiority by destroying their radar. The first barrier keeping us from retaking the space elevator is gone. Now is the time to group up and begin the counteroffensive. Let us reclaim what is ours.
Pas de damage pour. Parce que j'ai pas de. Oui, parce que j'ai pas fait de. Je suis pas fait avoir, mais je me suis fait. Ok. Et j'ai décidé. Moi je comprends. Ah, ça va. 13. Je sais pas combien de temps ça fait, je pense que je vais m'arrêter là. Je vais faire une mission par. Une ou deux missions par épisode. On va rester à la mission. Donc je verrai une prochaine fois. et je recommence à savoir. Donc,